Hello, welcome back to another pandemic talk. This time we're going to talk about anxiety and automatic thoughts yet again, but I'm going to add in an extra or a new automatic thought for you to label. This builds on previous videos that I'll try to link to near the end that relate to our internal dialogue. The cognitive behavioral psychologists have a saying that says, so shall you think, so shall you feel. And a lot of our thoughts happen so fast and so kind of out of our awareness that they can contribute to anxiety. Another one of the primary contributors is this one that we like to call dichotomous thinking, which is fancy for black and white thinking. Black and white thinking is just what it sounds like. It's taking a situation and deciding it's all or nothing. It's going to either be the worst possible outcome or it's going to be fantastic. Now, Teddy Roosevelt, in his famous little speech, The Man in the Arena, which I like, he says something like, you don't want to end up living in the gray twilight that knows not victory nor defeat. And although I think that's true in epic aspects of our lives, in other parts of our lives, the more mundane and probably 90% of our lives, we do live in a gray twilight at some level. Life is often lived in the gray. We don't get to know the absolute right or the absolute wrong often. That situations are seldom for sure great or not good or, so black and white. So how does this relate in a practical sense? Well, essentially when you're sitting there and you're feeling anxious, we can give a practical example of like, when I go back to work, it's going to be great or it's going to be terrible. Whatever scenario you can create about the transition from quarantine back to normal life. I've noticed a lot of people are starting to make those transitions in black and white terms. And you see it, frankly, across the entire government and everything else, as if it's one or the other. But it won't be one or the other, I don't think. I think it'll be kind of lived in the gray, that there'll be difficult times and other times it'll be easier than we thought. And that we'll have to all be very adaptive as we work through this essentially gray area. And to the extent that we try to paint it with a black and white dichotomous brush, we're doing ourselves a bit of a disservice because we'll be essentially creating anxiety and potential future cognitive dissonance as we try to sometimes, without even realizing it, defend an entrenched position that no longer makes sense given the available data that we have. So the idea here is start that internal dialogue again. That can be helped by the walks that I referenced earlier in other videos, because the walking is a type of meditation, and meditation slows your thoughts and allows you to hear them better. And once we get a little better angle at kind of hearing our thoughts, we can then start to build on that toolbox of cognitive distortions, such as catastrophizing, the what ifs, and today's video being the black and white dichotomous thoughts. So I guess in contrast to Teddy Roosevelt, this time I'm going to say, dare to live in the gray twilight that sometimes doesn't know victory or defeat. He'll be mad at me. All right. Thanks for listening again. And if you liked anything you heard, feel free to subscribe or give it a thumbs up. I actually notice those things and they're kind of encouraging. So thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Stay strong.